Hi, it's your friendly neighborhood villain. So this video is a few things. First, it's an apology. It's going to be talking about the Fanatics release as well, and why there hasn't been much from me recently. So first off, I have released a few things. There is a Patreon, which is linked below. I use that for, if I have ideas in my head that I don't feel comfortable releasing yet, it goes onto the Patreon and I can get feedback off people and, you know, explain a few things on there. So thank you to everyone who's supporting from that. Like anyone on the second tier onwards gets the extra content. So thank you to everyone who supports on that. If you want to get the extra content, please look into that as well. So I feel the problem is that there's been such a change in my jiu-jitsu recently that I haven't felt comfortable putting it to film, because I feel that by the time I'd say anything, it'd be wrong, because I'm learning so much so fast. But there was a catalyst this morning that kind of made me go, right, I need to say something and put something out there at long last. And it is where this Fanatics release comes from as well. I think it's easy to when we look at the normal approach of jiu-jitsu, about how you'd show a beginner jiu-jitsu, close guard or whatever, it's easy to even if you don't want to do the dogmatic approach, the normal approach, just skirt around the edges. And I say this from a position of guilt, in that I used to show people open guard instead of close guard. I'd show them, you know, how to hunt for submissions when people are hiding from submissions, covering the armpit stuff, which I still do, but in a different way. You know, you show people side control, mount, etc. And some combination of those things. Yet, it's been 14 years since I was a beginner, and I maybe forget sometimes how much coordination those things take. And it was interesting in that, so there was a forum discussion this morning as I woke up. And it was a brown belt saying that they have a problem dealing with white belts in the gym. They have no issue with blue belts and purple belts, but white belts tend to be a bit of a problem area. And I think half of the issue we are finding these days is, sorry to rag on them, but the Aikidoization of jiu-jitsu, in that we are doing things against a predetermined move. I mean, a prime example is, and it still happens, weirdly, is you teach people to posture in close guard, and everyone postures and everyone deals with people who are posturing, and then you have someone come into the gym who doesn't know that and just rams into you and stacks you on your head. And you can't do anything about it. It's uncomfortable as hell, and you can't sweep, you can't sub them, it's just you getting crushed. And you go to this person, no, that's not what you do. You have to, if you want to pass, you have to be able to posture and get out this way. And then they do, and then you submit them or sweep them. But what they were doing wasn't wrong. It was working. You then conditioned them to do something that you had an answer for. And that's happening a lot. And I feel that happens, you know, I remember hearing this from previous students years gone by, of I don't like rolling with beginners, they're too stazzy. To want of a better word, it seems to be the colloquial term. But I can deal with blue belts and purple belts. I used to say, okay, fine, go just roll with them. Then that's a stupid thing to say. Because again, you're only used to dealing with people who do the jiu-jitsu thing. Yeah, against people who, you know, you don't know what they're going to do, you have no control over them. That's not good jiu-jitsu. I always got more benefit out of training with beefed up crazy white belts than anyone else, weirdly. And by the Aikidoization, I mean, it's that whole idea of, like, you know, you need to grab my wrist. No, not that wrist, that wrist. Like, you have to have a very specific move for this to work. If they do even something slightly different, it's not going to. And that's insane. We're supposed to be this, we live in this, you know, we remember the heyday of Hoist Gracie and, you know, jiu-jitsu and created MMA. It's very little to do with MMA these days. We have, you know, high competitive jiu-jitsu, and MMA, not much overlap as there used to be. And so getting onto this release that Nak and I and Charles were working on, these two releases, we thought, right, well, actually, we don't really teach beginners guard anymore. And where that comes from is, if I'm on my ass, I have 3 options. I should be able to sweep, sub, or stand. But I think the better way of phrasing it is, I should sweep or sub if I cannot stand. If I can stand, I will just stand. And then going back to this Aikidoization of it is, how many of your passes work against people who aren't actively just trying to get up? If they're just staying on the floor, your passes may work. But against someone who's framing and just getting to their legs, now if you aren't engaging and controlling their legs and controlling their hips, your pass probably doesn't even work. And this is what I mean by teaching a lot of beginners these days. They don't need to know about sweeps and subs. That's way down the line. They just need to know about, right, can I get up? Can I free my bottom leg? Can I move into space? Yes, then I'm going to get up. And this is why I didn't want to release much more videos. Because going back to the 4 years ago how to defend video now, I find it very hard to watch. Makes me cringe because the amount of stuff that I do now compared to what I was saying then is completely different. I do not show open guard at all. Grilled chicken is gone. Instead, is this right? I'm going to frame and get up. I will be releasing some details on the frame today on the Patreon, so check that out. But I'm going to get up. I'm going to free my bottom leg and I'm going to get up. And right now, and I don't want to sound pretentious or stupid, but I would feel comfortable demoting myself down to blue belt again. Now, as a black belt, trying not to sound stupid here, I felt comfortable. There was very few things that kind of make me go, "Oh, damn, I don't know anything right now." But I always feel like I'm, bobbing along the surface. Learn something new, going good. Learn something new, going good. This is the first time in a long time, pretty much since I've learned the defensive postures, I've suddenly gone, "Oh, I don't know anything," and there's a massive climb happening. And I've suddenly realised I'm very, very poor at holding someone down who's trying to get up and submitting them at the same time. A lot of my jiu-jitsu seemed to only work against people who weren't actively trying to get up, which is such a stupid thing to say. Now, having to mix that kind of holding someone, controlling someone, and submitting them at the same time and blending enough between the two that I don't lose control of them at the same time is such a huge field for me. To the point where I don't even feel comfortable teaching submissions. I wouldn't now show submissions for quite a while. In that, even across the gym, I don't feel our control is good enough. Pinning people down and pinning people down effectively to even submit them, that is going to take some time. It's almost heartbreaking. I feel like I have to apologise to anyone I've ever taught, saying, sorry, didn't know as much. I'm better now than I was. Maybe better in the future. Who knows? So yes, I apologise for not releasing more footage. This release from Fanatics is going to talk about this whole idea of low coordination jiu-jitsu. And it was interesting as well in that after we'd finished recording, Naki and I looked at each other and went, why would you want to learn anything else now? Why would we not learn anything else? Why would we teach anything else in class? When framing and getting up works so well. Why would we even show guard and passing when we can just get up and just changing the narrative on a few things? And anytime we feel like we're plateauing, just coming back to this again, just getting back up, working these drills. And then the hardest section as well was, especially as a coach, what do you put in its place when you take out guard and guard passing? Like I said, it's easy to skirt around the dogmatic approach. But what happens when you throw it out the window? I know Greg Soder's and a lot of the ecological approach is very interesting. I'm fascinated with the work that's currently going on with people like that. But to just suddenly go, right, actually, we're not even playing guard. Like, screw that, it's gone. What do you put in this place? And we're having to make a lot more games and find we don't have to just show new techniques and more convoluted things every session. We can just be like boxers, same few punches every single day, working those combos, getting slicker and slicker at what we do. And people are finding joy in that. There is a level of excitement to it. And trusting people that I don't need to hold their hands and show them everything for an hour. I play a lot of video games, and apart from like the beginning tutorial where they go, right, this is how you punch, this is how you kick, or heavy attack, or whatever, they then give you increasingly difficult problems and let you learn yourself through bosses and go, right, skill check. And it's the exact same here, right? Here's a really simple idea. Get up, get your bottom leg free. Now we're going to make increasingly interesting games in class for you to then practice that and find your way to getting back to this outcome. If you have an issue, if you keep hitting the same roadblock, we'll talk about it. But other than that, let's just keep doing it. And the growth, like, I am gutted that some of these guys coming through now who've only been here like 8 months, I have difficulty with. I'm like, why didn't I know this 14 years ago? I'd be so much better. So yeah, sorry that there hasn't been much more content. There will be more coming up soon. There will be this Fanatics release coming out imminently. So excited. Please let me know what you think about it. And just like before, we'll be if people want to ask questions, we'll hopefully do some more videos like this. Naki and I just talking about various bits that maybe we didn't include and doing extra content for the YouTube channel. Thank you for sticking around. Again, thank you to everyone on Patreon who's supporting and allows me to get hopefully better recording equipment. I hope this is nicer. This seems like a good setup. And hopefully we get some recording of rolling as well and seeing how this implements, and try and get some white belts to hopefully agree to being recorded as well so you can judge them. But yeah, thank you for sticking around. Look out for everything, and hopefully see you soon.